This is Chad Miles, co-host of The Bruce Collins Show, and I wanted to share something with you that somebody told me years ago when I was in military intelligence school. And this was a person who I was in school with, who was a fellow student, but he had an unusual background. He was former Naval Intelligence, and he was reclassifying as an Army intelligence soldier. So he had already served in Naval Intelligence, and he was moving over to be in the Army. And we were on break one day, and out of the blue he starts telling this story, which was absolutely fascinating, and I'm not sure why he shared it with us. But he talked about his time in Naval Intelligence, and what he did was he was one of the analysts who would keep an eye on the sonar. He was an analyst, and his job was to monitor the sonar grid that was in the Pacific Ocean. And during the course of monitoring this grid, they would keep an eye on several sound signatures. The first of which was mechanical, which would be a submarine, a naval ship of some sort, things like that. The second was biological, and they would actually pick up sounds of whales and other marine wildlife. But there was a third signature that was a mysterious signature that was classified as unknown. And during the course of monitoring the sonar grid, they would annotate and keep track of all these different signatures, but the other signature would be annotated and then passed along higher on the food chain, so to speak. And after about a year of dealing with this, he finally asked someone what the other signature was. And he could tell, or the analysts could tell rather, that the signature was over on the biological spectrum of the sound. And so he asked someone, and he was told, actually he asked several times before he was finally told this answer, but he was told that these were indeed biological signatures of creatures, mostly around the Marianas Trench area and in the trench, and they were large sea creatures that were unknown to science. Now, when he said large, he expanded on that description, and he said these are large. Some of them are as large as aircraft carriers. Now think about that. That's a large creature. That's a very, very large creature. So he said the military knows about this. Naval Intelligence obviously knows about this, but the general public wasn't aware of this at the time. So now this is interesting. In 2002, CNN.com posted a story, and it was called Tuning Into a Deep Sea Monster. And I'm just going to read a little bit of this, and I'll leave a link in the description to the story. This is in 2002, and it says, scientists have revealed a mysterious recording that they say could be the sound of a giant beast lurking in the depths of the ocean. Researchers have nicknamed the strange unidentified sound picked up by undersea microphones bloop. While it bears the varying frequency hallmark of marine animals, it is far more powerful than the calls made by any creature known on Earth, Britain's New Scientist reported on Thursday. It's too big for a whale, and one theory is that it is a deep sea monster, possibly a many-tentacled giant squid. In 1997, bloop was detected by U.S. Navy spy sensors. There you go. 3,000 miles apart, that had been put there to detect the movement of Soviet submarines, the magazine reports. And then it goes on to talk about what this could be, or what they think it is, or think it was. And this was in 2002. So when I was in military intelligence school, this was in 1995. So it was quite a bit of time before this story came out, and there are other news articles that you can look up, mainstream news articles. There's another sound called the Julia, which is another big one. Now lately, this bloop sound was supposedly debunked, and now they're claiming that it was ice cracking in Antarctica. That was the source of the noise. Now, I'm not sure how that would be so loud and have an organic or a biological sound to it up in the Pacific Ocean. That seems kind of strange to me, so I don't think this has been debunked. I think this article proves what that person was telling me back in 1995, which is very interesting. So, large sea creatures exist. That's my conclusion. So if you agree, leave a comment. If you don't agree, leave a comment. Like the video, share, subscribe if you find the content interesting, and thanks for watching.